The one among you who has no sin, be the first to throw a stone at her. This story of St. John's Gospel is one of the iconic readings. I think we've all seen many paintings of Jesus writing with his finger on the ground. Lots of ink has been spilt about what was he writing on the ground and in the sand. Of course, it doesn't matter what he was writing in the ground. It was regards as the whole scene is about mercy. You see, there's there's the law, and then there's the application of the law. The law said if a man or woman, by the way, we're missing a partner here somehow. I think that was we're missing one of the people involved. But they bring the Pharisees and the scribes they have an agenda. They come to trap Jesus. They come to catch him, and they present this woman one half of the party to try and put him to the test. They weren't as much seeking justice as their own agenda. And Jesus responds not with judgment, with mercy. Not with a lecture, but with love. And in that moment, she is transformed. And if the Pharisees, the scribes, allowed themselves, they too will be transformed by that. I think that's the challenge for us. That moment of when you're accused, caught in the act, so to speak, right, it's a powerful moment, because it's in that moment conversion can take place, both the fastest and the most permanent, because one remembers how one feels in that moment. I think all of us have made mistakes. We've all done something that was wrong and caught, whether a little thing when we were a child or something larger. And we'll always remember how we were treated in that moment of shame, that moment of being caught. And it's an interesting moment because it can maim us and shame us, or it can make us and form us into something much better, something more profound. Those moments are inflection points in our lives. And when our parents or family members or friends can recognize the importance of those moments in our lives, then we have true conversion, a moment of mercy that transforms. That's what Jesus is trying to tell us in this gospel today. I remember one incident many years ago. My friend had just bought a brand new car, and it was, I always remember, it was a brand new white car, and I asked to borrow it just to run down to the store. There was something wrong with my car. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, backing out of the, there was this tiny little wall, red wall. I always remember it was a red wall. And as I backed out of my driveway, I scraped the bumper, white bumper with red painted, red brick. And I thought, did I hit that? I got out and I looked at I look at this big red mark on the bumper. And I tried to rub off and it wouldn't come off. So it was there. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to tell him his 3-day-old car has got a big red marker? So I was not looking forward to him coming home, coming back and me telling the story. So I wasn't terrified as much as sort of embarrassed and completely humiliated. Because I was one who was always proud of my driving, right? Anyway, so I always remember coming. I got to show what. And so I borrowed your car. I just come out and have a look. And he came out and he looked at it, and I always remember his reaction. It was like, it's just a car. It was going to get scratched. May as well be on the first week, and then it's over with. And that was it. Never said a word, never scolded me, no lecture. no condemnation. That was it. The last that was ever said of it. Now, I will say, I wish he had repaired it, because every time I looked at the car, I went, oh, because it was there for me to remind me every time. Humility. So the reason why that's so important is because in those moments, my friends, we have the ability to turn something and somebody a completely different direction. How we treat them in those moments of brokenness, those moments of weakness, those moments of guilt and shame. Now, it's our opportunity to be men and women of gentleness and kindness, of mercy and love, rather than condemnation. Now, I want to be careful here. When somebody is breaking the law for not mercy, when somebody's breaking the law for their own good, we may need to confront it. We have to be careful not to abrogate all versions of the law. The law is there to help us. When somebody is doing the law for self-aggrandizement, self-promotion, we may need to challenge it. But when somebody is broken, is made a mistake and knows it, is guilty, then our mercy can transform them permanently to a path of righteousness. I think we need, in our world, in our community, more mercy. I think we need, in our world, more love, not lectures. I think what we can do, you and I, is to be the purveyors and the providers of that love and that mercy, and transform our communities into places of gentleness, not condemnation, places of mercy, not places of judgment. Today, let us be part of that movement of gentleness, kindness, and mercy, and be ready for our moment of conversion.